Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we are once again kind of seeing the gaming industry as a whole, well, taking kind of a really somewhat bad take. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a big kind of, I almost want to say hit piece on my own part, but at the end of the day, we kind of seen like a lot of these really big game companies and publishers kind of somewhat taking bad calls and somewhat when it comes to blockchain, crypto, and all that as a whole. Now, as you guys may or may not know, I'm actually not that against crypto. I don't mind the ideas of NFTs. I don't mind the idea of crypto coins or all that type of stuff. I'm just very against like very, I guess for lack of better terms, very scummy business behaviors, people trying to go do cash grabs, microtransactions, and all of that. And I'm always, in all honesty, might be a hot take, someone who's okay with crypto as long as it's done in a wholesome, nice, and, well, not opportunistic way. But sadly, we've been seeing a lot of NFTs popping up, a lot of various businesses that may not be kind of in that same exact vibe. And this actually coming out right now where some of the biggest game publishers on the planet are, well, trying to go and triple down at this point on them trying to incorporate up NFTs and other various crypto things to, well, their games, and it doesn't seem like the best situation. So I'm going to talk about this, as well as if you guys want to go and give your thoughts and comments down below, subscribe with the notifications on for the usual gaming news, and with it, follow the Twitter and Twitch stream down below, or the Target Amazon links for the PS5s down below, and let's dive into this, well, video. So as we've been mentioning, there's been a lot of bigger uptake this past year or so, especially when there was more of a crypto bull market when the price was really high, that were pushing a lot into NFTs, having custom blockchain technology, crypto coins themselves. And as I kind of mentioned at the start of the video, I'm not necessarily against it, as long as it's done in a well, proper way that's not very opportunistic. But it's intriguing because we have one really big game publisher, which is Square Enix, that has been very gung-ho on pushing the idea of blockchain into their games. So where Square Enix believes recent blockchain volatility can actually be beneficial to its overall corporate game plan. The Japanese publisher again used its New Year letter to once again discuss the aggressive investments when it comes to NFTs into gaming as a whole. Now, once again, really quick, I'm not against it. I think in the future it's an interesting technology, but at the same time, let's go and see what they have to say. So Final Fantasy publisher Square Enix has again used its New Year letter to promote its aggressive investment into blockchain games, claiming that recent volatility in the market could actually ultimately benefit its plans. Square Enix was one of the first major publishers to declare support for blockchain entertainment, which uses a form of digital ledger to effectively allow users to buy, sell, and own their own digital items. Which, if you have that into a game, let's say a World of Warcraft, Diablo, which they did a lot of Diablo 2, CSGO skins and cases, or all that, I think that's kind of fun. You have like a secondary market, maybe like the actual owner, let's say Square Enix, maybe makes a little baby bit of a cut of money. They'll take like a 1% fee if you're doing stuff on an auction house or whatever. Like, sure, if it's optional or if it's not forced into games, I'm kind of okay with it, I feel like. It kind of makes like, I'm like a big trader. I love the idea that back in like RuneScape or MapleStory when I played those games, I used to love being able to go buy like a whip for 2 mil and try to sell for 2.1 mil in the future and make a little bit of extra money on that in the games. And you can kind of do that with real life currency and such. Now, some people might be against it, some people might be for it. Once again, if it's good implementation that's not scummy and taking money away or taken away from the game itself, I think I'm okay with it. Hot take or not, that's kind of where I stand. So, in his New Year's letter last year, the company committed to making blockchain and NFT games. And, well, they did. Later in 2022, it announced plans to sell NFTs as a part of what it calls the first digital collectible art project designed from the ground up for Web3 fans. In a new letter discussing its plans for 2023, Square Enix president Yosuke Matsuda has now said blockchain remains one of the biggest focuses for its medium-term investment, despite what he called volatility in the blockchain space in 2022. And I'm someone, if you guys have seen some of my videos or talked about this, there has been scams, there has been people losing money, there is bankruptcies of billions of dollars and like billions of dollars lost. People are losing like everything they own, not even just from the currency going down, but from like corrupt people and basically, I mean, sometimes these NFTs, look at Logan Paul, who's been in the news as of recently with him like scamming people and stealing millions of dollars from his own fans for crypto. Like, it's not necessarily like a good place to be around when it comes to blockchain in general. So Matsuda argued that lessons learned and likely regulation to come could benefit the growth of the blockchain field and its plans to develop games based on technology. Now, I don't want to say he's wrong. I don't want to say he's right. Because as I mentioned, I'm kind of a supporter for this. Like 5, 10, 15 years down the road, I'll be like, yeah, I own Ethereum, I own Bitcoin, whatever. That's fine. But at the same time, like, as I mentioned, there's been billions of dollars stolen, scams up the wazoo. And obviously a lot of gamers are kind of against microtransactions as a whole. Look at Overwatch 2 as of recently, where it just doesn't seem like that's just the vibe that you want to go towards. Now, some people might be a good gamble. I mean, look at GameStop. They're trying to invest into NFTs themselves and more of the crypto chain, and it might pay off in the long run. It might fit, like, who knows. But it does kind of seem kind of weird, and I'm also a little bit worried, especially with how much negativity there has been. Like, think of the FTX drama, think of the Celsius dramas, think of just like Bitcoin going down so much money, that a lot of these people are kind of on the skeptical side, and rightfully so, especially with how many scam NFT projects, some NFT projects like stopped existing after a week. So in terms of new business domains, we named 3 focus investment fields under our medium-term business plan, the executive row. Among those, we are the most focused on blockchain entertainment, to which we have devoted aggressive investment and business development efforts. Looking externally, I think it's fair to say that blockchain gained significant recognition as a field in 2022, as evidenced by Web 3.0 becoming a firmly established buzzword amongst business people. However, the year we saw volatility in the cryptocurrency and NFT, non-fungible token markets that track that dynamic shifts in the macroeconomy described above. The later half of the year in particular produced a sombering string of news stories with blockchain connections, including the scandalous bankruptcy filing of FTX in November. So it kind of goes to show that, like, they're doubling down on it, but I think most normal people are like, hey, like, everyone's losing money. There's so much scam, there's so much like fraud, and just basically intercommingling of like illegal assets that people are kind of a little skeptical. And this is why I think gaming as a whole is just almost like a bad time. Now, I respect their commitment to double down and they want to push for it. And it may be a long-term good investment for people like, say, Square Enix for putting money into this and building these systems early. But at the same time, it's just such a sketchy subject right now that it really could be a little bit of a weird situation to be in. Because you don't want to be that company that's investing into billions of dollars of fraud and you, number one, lose money, but number two, you kind of force microtransactions, which are already kind of a negative in the gaming industry, down people's throats. So it continued. In the wake of these developments, we hear rumblings from some countries of early moves to regulate such businesses more strictly. In Japan, meanwhile, the drive to encourage such businesses has actually gained momentum, led by the government. Now, I think if there is a little bit more regulation on crypto and regulation on NFTs, and it becomes like more of a proper business, or like I said, like a secondary market, it actually could maybe work out. It actually could be a long-term thing that in 5 years from now, every game might have some NFTs involved. If it's done well and it's not like a massive cash grab, I think I'm okay with it. If it's regulated, we're not going to lose money, it's more of a bonus rather than like a, say, microtransaction or takeaway from the game, I'll give it a big maybe. So Masuda goes on to cite Japan's priority policy program for realizing a digital society, a plan that was signed off in June 2022, regarding the promotion of Web 3.0 concepts, including the use of NFT based on blockchain technology. New technologies and frameworks led by innovation, but they also create considerable confusion, he wrote. Having written out such societal ties, some such technologies and frameworks gradually become part of people's lives and eventually giving rise to new businesses and growth, which I could also understand too, like in the future there might be a few more options and different things for folks to be a part of, which I could respect. Following the excitement and exhilaration that surrounded NFTs in the metaverse in 2021, 2022 was a year of great volatility in the blockchain-related space. However, if this proves to have been a step in the process that leads to the creation of rules and a more transparent business environment, it will definitely have been for the good, for the growth of blockchain. Now, I kind of agree with these takes. If it's like I said, if I kind of said this video, if it's legit, if it's not a scam, and it's actually regulated and people, it's more of a bonus rather than forcing microtransactions or DLCs, or I'll listen to games, yeah, it actually might work out and it might be a good step. But right now, with all this fraud and kind of lack of regulatory creativity basically for this from the government, it's kind of just a really weird thing to triple down on. And I'm kind of curious on your thoughts, the community down below, because like I said, I'm not anti-crypto, but so far I haven't been impressed with all the implementations that they put into video games so far. He concluded by acknowledging that much of the discussion around blockchain games was previously driven by investors, and as such focused on the monetization opportunities the technology could unlock. Once again, monetization may not be the best thing because we don't want to waste more money. He argued that increased discussion among the general public and lessons learned from recent market turbulence could now steer blockchain gaming in a direction that is ultimately more appealing to consumers. Multiple blockchain gaming events held overseas recently produced more active discussion than ever before. But at the end of the day, was that good discussion? I kind of want to know. So give me your thoughts and comments on this one, on what you guys think, because Square Enix is a big name, and they can actually maybe go and do a big play in the industry. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well. Make sure you guys are just subscribed in general. We have the Twitter and Twitching down below if you guys want to follow and hang out there and say hi. And of course, we have the Target and Amazon links too. And I appreciate you guys all so much for watching here in the first place.